Hello guys and welcome, it is ThatSrb2DUDE here today, bringing you yet another Splatoon 3 video. Now, first things first guys, make sure to like the video if you enjoy the contents of this video, and subscribe to the channel for more. With that all being said, let's get into it. So guys, today I actually want to talk about one of the specials that we know that are going to be in Splatoon 3, which is none other than the Inkzooka. Now, why I want to make a video specifically analyzing the Inkzooka special, because I want to explain why it's so great that this special is actually making a return back into the Splatoon franchise. There's only so much we can analyze from the Splatoon 3 trailer of the Inkzooka. I just want to give you guys my professional opinion, as I've played Splatoon 1 a huge amount of hours and know a lot about the Inkzooka at the same time. And I kind of want to give you guys an idea of how it's going to work when we finally get to play Splatoon 3 and use the Inkzooka special. So let's go ahead and start off with one of the most obvious things. I think we should start off with noticing how much more balanced this weapon is now. As we can see in the trailer, we know that the Inkzooka at this current period of time only has 3 shots. Back in Splatoon 1, the Inkzooka had about 5 or 6 shots, or if you had put on like a bunch of special duration, which was a perk during that time, you'd be increasing the amount of time you have the special in general. So you could potentially even have 10 shots, or I don't exactly know the actual amount, but just trust me that it's a lot. On top of that, the Inkzooka was a one-shot kill. No matter how you touched the tornado that it bursted out in Splatoon 1, you will die instantly if you touch the tornado. It was honestly pretty broken because it also had a huge amount of range on top of that. While making sure that you shoot the Inkzooka high up into the sky, you can basically increase the amount of range that you would have with this weapon. So pairing all these things together, you basically get something that looks a little bit like this. Yeah, it's fairly strong. But now, in Splatoon 3, we know that it's a lot more balanced. As we can see, this weapon only has 3 shots, which is good. Another thing that we can take away from the trailer is that this weapon is basically burst firing, and it's not exactly like how that big tornado thing was. And I also think that burst fire requires you to actually hit 2 of those shots in order to succeed in the kill, which honestly is pretty strong still, but way better than before. The only thing it's still probably taken away from Splatoon 1 is the amount of range it does have. I'm only taking this from what I've seen in the Splatoon trailer, like it looks like the range goes fairly far. But to be very honest, I don't mind this so much. Why I'm saying this is because I personally think it's a good thing that we have specials like this in Splatoon in general. The thing is why I like this, and it's also a thing why I liked it in the very first game, is that closer range weapons or mid to close range weapons like the splatter shot or the sploosh, they very much benefit from having a special like this because it gives them another option to take on longer range weapons. You might notice in Splatoon 2, this is a problem with a lot of closer range weapons in the game, where they're fighting off a splat charger or even just some regular mid-range weapons like the custom dually squelches or the Splash Shot Pro 96. And a lot of the time it can become a problem with actually being able to approach those types of weapons because you get constantly zoned out. While having an Inkzooka as a special, it gives those closer range weapons another option in actually having the chance to fight back against those long range zone type weapons. Back in the Splatoon 1 days, we would run Tentatex that can take on E-liters just cause we had an Inkzooka. And this is back in the day when E-liter had extremely long range, so can you imagine how good an Inkzooka would be right now? Especially when E-liter's range is definitely a lot more not as overdramatic. Of course, this is me hoping that Inkzooka does make it to a lot of closer range weapons. Currently right now we know a splatter shot has the Inkzooka, and I believe the splat bow also does. Of course, this isn't final because this is only from the trailer. The developers for Splatoon tend to change the weapon kits very often, just like how they did for the Splatter Shot and Splat Roller in Splatoon 2. This next point that I'm going to make is going to talk a little bit about frame data, and it's not going to be absolutely accurate, I know that for sure. Considering our only footage at this point of time is the Splatoon 3 trailer, I've tried to figure out the amount of frames between shots when using an Inkzooka in Splatoon 3. From looking at the trailer closely and using a video editing software, the only point where we can see the Inkzooka being shot twice, one after another, is this point of the video right here. It seems between shots, the Inkzooka is roughly around 45 or 46 frames. Knowing that there's 1 second during 60 frames, which of course I assume that this game is going to run at 60 frames. Using this estimate, we can basically gather that you can basically get all 3 of your Inkzooka shots within 135 frames, which is about 2.25 seconds. Also, I just wanted to say this too, is that it is roughly around 45 frames in the Splatoon 3 trailer till you're actually able to get your first shot out with the Inkzooka. This is from this frame right here. Now, of course, these frame estimates are not exact, as we don't exactly know the timing of when the person pressed the button to shoot the Inkzooka shot and all that jazz. But at least it gives us an idea of how quick the Inkzooka is going to be. It's good to know because back in Splatoon 1, I guess before it was actually patched, the Inkzooka was very, very fast. Like, almost instant. You probably haven't seen my 4,000 subscriber montage or anything like that, but I'll show you a couple of clips here, as during this time, you can basically insta-kill with the Inkzooka, which was kind of ridiculous. I mean, thank God they patched that during that time, but yeah, it was insanely strong. But apart from all the frame data and I guess the knowledge of knowing how great an Inkzooka is when using it as a close-range weapon, I just want to also say that using the Inkzooka is extremely fun. I don't know about you guys, but it is very, very satisfying to blast a person with your Inkzooka and getting a connection from one side to the other. It is extremely satisfying. And I hope you guys are looking forward to getting to use this type of special weapon in Splatoon 3 because trust me, we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Now, of course, there's only so much to say about the Inkzooka in this Splatoon 3 trailer, so with this, I've pretty much run out of things to say. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed my analysis of this weapon from what we have so far and what we know so far. I'd like to know from you guys' opinions of what you think about the Inkzooka making a return back into Splatoon 3. Do you think it's going to be good for the game? Do you think it's going to be bad for the game? Or do you think something completely different that I have not said yet? Let me know in the comment section below if you guys have any ideas. With all that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this Splatoon 3 video. There's a lot more to come, so make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And yeah, that's all I gotta pretty much say. Make sure, of course, to follow me on Twitch and Twitter if you're feeling generous. Like the video if you haven't already. Don't forget to join my public Discord channel. It is a great place for Splatoon 3 talks and all that type of stuff, and it's a great community in general. Also, if you're trying to figure out when I go live for a Twitch stream, that is one of the greatest places to be there too. So come down there. It is a great Splatoon 3 sanctuary, I guess. But either way, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you guys in a future one.